So we touched on this a little bit in our last episode, but if you're having time passing at events or having your choice tree resolves, how does that...
Like the consequences.
How does the consequences contribute to your story?
Yeah, so I was playing a game called The Unavowed. It's a RPG... Well, it's a point-and-click pixel adventure.
Yeah.
It's on GOG, if you want to go look it up. Goodoldgames.com. Great resource. But anyway, so with the fun part with Unavowed is... It's like a supernatural detective story type of thing. And as you go through, you have the opportunity to kind of like either spare or destroy the monster at the end of each scenario.
Yeah.
And so some monsters you're like, okay, this wasn't really his fault, I'm going to let him live. Or you can be like, death to everything not human. Or you could be totally pacifistic and be like, well, I know they did really evil things, but that's not really my concern. I'm going to go ahead and let him live anyway. Well, then when you get to the very end of the game... And you didn't really know this, anybody that you saved has the potential to come and help you get through certain like obstacles that are in front of you. And so like basically there's consequences to you being like totally warlike, and totally pacifistic or whatever. And so you could build the same sort of things into the game. We kind of hinted at it a little bit last time where it's like if you were tasked to save a king's daughter and you didn't do it fast enough and the king's daughter got killed, the king could, at best, decide never to help you again.
At worst,
hunt you down.
Yep.
And so if you're in this like epic thing where the main quest is to like, get as many reinforcements and as many people as we can to the front lines of this battle before it happens, and you fail on that quest, then that whole army is not there. It could be even worse if you failed really hard on that quest. That army could be sitting there but against you. Like it's now working with the enemy because of what you did. And it could be even worse than that, where it's like maybe you were messing around too much on this other side quest, and that side quest then expired, like because he told you needed to move quick on it, and you decided that you wanted to help figure out who was stealing the baker's bread in the town that you were walking through to go do that. And that baker's bread thing got a little bit bigger than he thought it was going to be. You know what I mean? Yep. It wasn't just 6 boys stealing bread. It was like something immensely more than that. And, while you stopped whatever that was, you still now have to pay for the consequence of not saving the king's daughter, or a king's daughter, rather. And as such, now he's not going to help you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's all these great things that you can do, and just figure out what kind of consequences you want. So what I would do is I would do like a consequence tree for the bigger stuff, where it's like, okay, so king's daughter's kidnapped. If she lives, the king helps. If she dies, but the players were there trying to help her, he's neutral. He may send like 10% of the army he was going to send because you at least tried. If you did something so grievous in the thing of trying to save her that, whatever, he's now sending people out after you. And if you just didn't even care to go investigate it, he takes that as like the biggest wound ever, and he's going to send people out against you, and he's going to move the rest of his army up to fight against you in the...
Yeah.
And then you just keep doing this. And I wouldn't do it for every little side quest, like that doesn't matter. But I would do it for the ones that matter, right?
Yes.
So it's like... if you go into this dungeon, you're going to find a group of cultists that are trying to summon something in that's going to help your enemy. If, what happens if they win? What happens if they don't? What happens if they somewhat do? What happens if they, like, just totally don't do it at all?
Yes.
Like, these guys have zero resistance.
Yeah.
They can immediately move in. No one's fighting them. The thing gets summoned. It actually has a chance now to kind of like devastate the area, get big.
Yep.
Because nothing's coming to stop it. And you even could do a thing where you have a secondary quest. Like if you didn't do anything about that because you didn't think it was important, now you hear rumors of like this whatever, right? This monster ravaging the countryside, and it sounds like it's already taken out a small village, and it looks like it's just going to keep going.
Yep.
So your players can choose to go fight it. And then what happens if they win? What happens if they kind of win? What happens if they, because you could wound it to the extent where it's out of the fight. Like it crawled back into a hole, you can't find it, but at least it's not going to be at the end game.
Yes.
And it could be something that you have to fight afterward, like after the whole campaign's over. If you want to keep playing in that world, it could be something that comes up for your grandchildren of these players, right?
Yep.
Where oh, hey, remember that beast your grandfather fought? Well, it got better. I mean, it took 100 years, but it got better. And now it's, like, maybe it's the big bad, which would be kind of fun,
Yes.
you know. But anyway, is there anything else you wanted to add to this?
I don't think so.
Well, we'll see you next time. Thanks.